Now, let's look at the 5 most common mistakes when using sources, and of course, how to correct them. Oops number 1 is missing a pair. An in-text citation must always be matched with a reference citation. You can't have one without the other. They're like shoes, socks, and gloves. Pretty much useless unless you have them both. In this example, all we see are reference citations at the bottom. However, without the corresponding in-text citations, we don't know how or where the sources are being used in the paragraph. So, we must add in-text citations to pair with the reference citations. Once inserted, the in-text citations make it clear which source is being used in which sentence. Oops number 2 is a dropped quote, sometimes called a ghost quote. This is a quotation that lacks a connection to the sentences before or after it. The quote seems like it dropped out of the sky and fell in a random place in the paragraph. In this example, the quote from Halpern and Luber is relevant but doesn't quite flow with the sentences before or after it. To correct this problem, we can arrange the wording of the first sentence so that it acts as an introduction to the quote, and add a colon to connect them. One aspect of this course that will be of great value to me is developing my executive presence, Presence is the ability to connect authentically with the thoughts and feelings of others, citation. Or, we could use what is called a narrative citation. In this case, you use the author's name to lead into the quote. One aspect of this course that will be of great value to me is developing my executive presence. Halpern and Luber define presence as the ability to connect authentically with the thoughts and feelings of others, citation. And you see, Halpern and Luber define is that narrative citation. Oops number 3 is the blind citation. An in-text citation by itself is blind. It can only refer to the name of the source. You, the writer, must make it clear what information from the source is being used. Here's our example. During the meeting, I will maintain eye contact with team members as they are speaking, Munter. Well, maintaining eye contact is always a good idea. However, it's not clear what contribution Munter made to the author's statement. To correct a blind citation, simply clarify what information from the source it is that you're using. You can do this with a paraphrase of the source. During the meeting, I will maintain eye contact with team members as they are speaking. As Munter and Hamilton point out, eye contact establishes a speaker-listener connection. Or you can use selective quotes, also called spot quotes, where you quote keywords from the source that informed your statement. During the meeting, I will use, quote, the crucial nonverbal skill of eye contact to establish, quote, a connection with team members as they are speaking, Munter. Here it's clear that these key words are being pulled from Munter and are the ones that help inform what the student wrote in the original sentence. Oops number 4 is one source, one paragraph. Well, it's fine to rely on one source to develop a point throughout a paragraph. However, it must be clear in which sentences the source is being used and in which sentences it is not. Our example. Wow, that's a lot of Barker and Gower. Props to the student for knowing that an in-text citation can apply only to the sentence it's a part of. But there has to be a better way of doing this. There is. Synonyms and pronouns. Let's read. Barker and Gower examine the use of leadership presence as a way to increase productivity. They present a model of leadership that facilitates communication throughout the organization. However, the authors call for a retraining effort that may not be suitable for all companies. Nonetheless, their approach has been shown to be useful to leaders looking to increase communication. Here we see that the use of synonyms and pronouns makes it clear that each of the sentences in the paragraph is a part of the Barker and Gower source. However, we did not have to repeat Barker and Gower umpteen times. Oops, number 5 is the end of paragraph citation. Here's the problem when you put a citation at the end of a paragraph. The reader asks, which sentences in the paragraph does this Martinuzzi citation refer to? Only the last sentence? The last 2? The last 3? The fix is to use the techniques we've discussed to indicate which sentence or sentences the source is used in. Let's read. Bruna Martinuzzi explains that leadership generosity is about more than pay raises. For her, generosity in leadership also means giving someone a chance to innovate, giving praise, giving emotional attention, and giving respect. All provide, as she has shown, as much or more motivation than money. Martinuzzi believes that good leaders are guided by a generous heart and a loyal mind.